If they could marry into the Sai family, they would be set for life. The bald uncle enthusiastically started chatting with them. Just then, a staff member brought over incense and paper money. Shui'er pretended to be innocent and asked what they were for. Master Yun pointed to the stage outside. These are for the opening ceremony. But as he looked up, he saw that the ceremonial ball that had been moved an inch to the east was now back in its original position. The staff member explained that a high-level leader had ordered it to be moved. I don't care what high-level leader it is. Since you invited my master here, you should respect his arrangements. Changfeng scolded the staff member. I was the one who had it moved. Do you have a problem with that? A cold voice came from behind him. Seeing it was Su Yichen, the disciple instantly backed down. At the same time, there are too many people now, it's not a good time to capture it. It hasn't found a host yet, so let's ignore it for now. With nothing to do, Su Bao walked up to Changfeng. Hey you. You said you would do a handstand and eat 10 pounds of poop yesterday. Did you do it? I asked my brother Huan, and he said 10 pounds of poop is about this big a bucket. You're so amazing, you can eat that much. Nonsense. How could anyone eat that much? Changfeng realized what he had said and quickly covered his mouth. Su Bao looked at him with admiration. So, you really did eat it? You're so amazing? Master Yun, seeing Su Bao, was furious and scolded her. So young and speaking so vulgarly. What has become of you? Su Bao nodded in agreement. Yes, a very big become of you. Did you eat it too, Mr. Fraud? Ji-Chang couldn't help but chuckle. How could his little disciple be so cute? He retorted coldly that her facial features indicated she was a cursed star. Su Bao bit her lip. Su Bao is very lucky. That's right, our Su Bao is our little lucky charm, Su Yichen said, his face like ice, as he asked who had invited these two frauds. Call the police and have them. The other guests quickly tried to placate him, saying it wasn't necessary to call the police, that Master Yun was a good person who had just been telling them their fortunes, and that they should all just let it go. Just then, Shui'er suddenly grabbed Master Yun's sleeve, and with a sincere expression told him not to be angry, that Su Bao was just a child and didn't mean to call him a fraud. She then looked at Su Bao and said anxiously, Su Bao, that's not right. You should apologize to Master Yun. Their inner thoughts finally caused the phony ghost that had been jumping back and forth to settle on Huier's head. Su Yichen sneered and asked Shui'er, what right do you have to ask Su Bao to apologize? Shui'er was stunned. She looked at his icy face and was on the verge of tears. I just don't want everyone to fight. Her mother also chimed in, defending her. Su Yichen was annoyed. He didn't understand how such a young child could be so phony. Ji-Chang, watching the peacemakers, had a mischievous glint in his eye. He told Su Bao to ask Master Yun if he was so great. Could he predict his own fortune? When Master Yun heard her question, he frowned. A doctor can't heal himself, and a fortune teller can't see his own fate. Don't you know that? Su Bao shook her head. Su Bao is just a child. So if you can't predict it, then you're not that great after all. And you know better? If you're so good, you do it. Master Yun was so angry he forgot all about his immortal demeanor and turned to leave. But Shui'er's father grabbed his arm and, trying to be helpful, suggested he just do it to show everyone how great he was. With no other choice, he reluctantly pinched his fingers together for a moment and then said he would encounter some minor trouble. But since he was an upright person, it would be nothing serious. Su Bao shook her head and pulled an old turtle from her little purse. Master, you're wrong. Let me predict it for you. With a hey, she tossed the bewildered old turtle. It spun a few times and then stopped at her feet. She said in surprise, so that's how it is. Master, you're in for some great luck. You'll have free meals for life. The little brother who eats poop won't be so lucky, he'll only get 10 years. Changfeng knew she was talking about jail time and was furious. His master was a great immortal. Even the leaders at the police station had invited him for consultations. But just then, several police officers walked in. Are you Master Yun? Come with us. Changfeng was stunned. He yelled, do you know who my master is? Your master is Yun Longkun. After graduating from elementary school, he worked in an electronics factory for 5 years, then was sentenced to 2 years for theft. After he got out, he set up a fortune-telling stand and scammed an old woman out of 50,000 yuan of her life savings. And now he's still swindling people? Take them away. The guests were stunned. They had just been sucking up to a fraud. They felt like such idiots. Seeing everyone's changed expressions and his carefully constructed reputation about to be ruined, Master Yun tried to use the Si family's name to intimidate the officers, saying he had just saved their young master yesterday. He did not save Yiran. In fact, I should be asking Master Lin about the bank card he scammed from my mother yesterday. With that, Master Yun's heart went cold. The next moment, the police handcuffed both him and his disciple and led them away. Xueyer's parents were also extremely embarrassed. Seeing Si Ye walk by, they quickly went to greet him, but he pretended not to see them. He then apologized to Su Yichen, explaining that the two of them must have taken the invitation from his house without anyone noticing, which was why they had shown up pretending to represent the Si family. Su Yichen said that he had already told someone to kick them out and that he didn't know why they were still there. The guests watched them go, their feelings a complicated mix. They all turned to look at Xueyer's parents. If it weren't for them so confidently claiming that Master Yun had saved the Sai family's young master, they wouldn't have been so fawning, and they wouldn't all have ended up looking like fools. He then coldly asked who had been on reception duty and had let the Lan family in. His aura was terrifying. The staff member stammered that they had forced their way in, claiming to be there on behalf of the Si family. The Lan family had come to network and boost their status, but they had ended up being publicly humiliated and kicked out. Xueyer's eyes welled with tears as she looked at Si Yiran. Master Yun had just said they were a match made in heaven. Why were they being thrown out now? But Si Yiran just stood there with a cold expression, not even glancing at her, his eyes fixed on Su Bao. Su Bao, however, was staring at the top of Xueyer's head because the evil spirit had followed her out. After the chaos, the auspicious time for the ribbon cutting had long passed. A smooth start was very important for a company's grand opening. The staff member nervously asked Su Yichen what they should do. As everyone was racking their brains, Su Bao looked up and comforted her uncle, telling him not to worry, that she could help him divine a time. She then pinched her fingers together, imitating Ji Chang, and said, "At 10:18, auspicious light will descend from the heavens. That is a lucky time." The others thought she was just a child playing around. But Su Yichen turned to the staff and said that the auspicious time would be 10:18 as Su Bao had said. He believed her. At the ceremony, Su Bao sat sipping from her water bottle, her eyes on Si Yiran as he walked over. "Little brother, come sit here," she said happily, waving him over. He just gave a cool, in response. Siya watched as his son walked over with his arms and legs moving in sync. He hadn't been like that this morning. Was it some side effect of his soul leaving his body? Su Bao also watched him curiously. He walked strangely and sat so upright like a little adult. Sensing her gaze, Si Yiran shyly took a candy from his pocket and handed it to her. "Is this for me?" she asked. He nodded. She looked at the candy in his palm. "Little brother, did you bring this candy just for me?" "No, I just grabbed it at the door," he said, turning his head away, his face red. "Oh," she said, and then quickly snatched the candy. She glanced at her big uncle and, seeing he wasn't looking, popped it into her mouth. She then pretended nothing had happened, sat up straight with her hands on her knees and stared ahead. Si Yiran finally came to his senses and asked, "Is it good?" She put a finger to her lips and whispered, "If my big uncle finds out, I'll never get to eat candy again." He looked at Su Yichen and then asked in a low voice, "Are you afraid of your big uncle?" "I'm not afraid. It's because I have a cavity, and my big uncle and grandma won't let me eat candy." "Then you shouldn't eat it." She immediately covered her mouth. Once it was in her mouth, there was no spitting it out. Si Yiran's mouth twitched. "You mean